up. What is it? Come on, you have to talk to me.
You know that you are the most important thing to me in my whole life, right? I mean, you and Emma. And that
I know
and
that.
Listen, and that spending my time with you is more important than anything, right?
Yes. You're starting to scare me now.
I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. I should have been more careful.
No. Hey, no, I fixed all that. I took care of all that for both of us.
What? You took care of what?
The clothes that we were wearing the night that Lisa died. I took care of it. I didn't give everything to Mac.
I mean, ultimatum. If I want a relationship to work, I have to get a desk job.
That's a compromise, not an ultimatum.
Well, whatever you want to call it. I shouldn't have said I would do it because it's unrealistic and I think unfair.
You haven't recovered. I'm looking out for you.
I'm gonna be fine, I told you, but I can't sit behind a desk. I mean, especially not with this case. They might find the wrong person guilty of Lisa Niles' murder. That might mean my mother.
Your mom is gonna be fine. We both know she's innocent. And let the detectives that are already on that case prove that. Let's be honest right now. Your mom is just an excuse for you to go back to work.
Look, this is my mother. If this was your mother, you'd want to clear her name, would you not?
This isn't about my mother. That's the point. It's not about your mom either. You can't stay away from the danger. You're acting exactly like my father. You're taking these crazy risks, and you're not thinking about how it affects the people that love you.
You love me, right?
How can you ask that? You know that I do.
Well, if you love me so much, then why are you trying to change me?
Hello? Well, the good news is I'm not crazy. I mean, I've heard the sounds, I've seen the light, and I felt that presence in the room. It was you, wasn't it? You were spying on me. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll start over. I'm Ethan. What's your name? Okay. You know, people have been accusing me of chasing ghosts, right? But I see now, you're standing there, right? You're real. As real as it gets, aren't you?
How could you trust your father with Aiden?
Look, I called home from Ireland to tell you to take Aiden to the hospital. Dad picked up the phone. I didn't think there was any time.
What were you doing in my house?
I wanted to see my grandson.
Since when? You've never taken an interest in my boys before. Not on their birthdays, not Christmas. You didn't even show up to Jake's memorial. You're probably getting drunk just like you did the night Jake died. I do not want your father anywhere near my boys. I've already lost one son. There's no way in hell I'm going to bury another one because of him.
So I'm trying to change you? Wow, I'm so sorry that I love you. And I want to keep you in my life as long as possible.
I want to be in your life as long as you'll have me, but I'm not going to sit behind a desk.
Can you just put yourself in my shoes for 1 minute? Every time that you leave the house, I'm worried you're not going to come back. People get shot, people die. You've come close now twice. If I'm trying to change anything, it's your odds.
Problem is, I didn't become a cop to sit behind a desk. I don't want to push paper. I don't want to write up parking tickets. I want to be out on the street.
Risking your life.
Yes, if that's the case, so be it. That's who I am. That's who you fell in love with.
I fell in love with the guy who used cheesy pickup lines and who introduced me to the opera and taught me more about baseball than I ever wanted to know, not your job. I fell in love with you.
So that guy. I love the opera and baseball, and I got loads of cheesy pickup lines. And I also love being a cop. But you're gonna have to accept that.
Or what?
You tampered with the evidence?
It's not evidence until it's actually in the station.
That's not how my Uncle Mac would
If
see it.
Mac asks, Robin, we gave him everything he asked for, all the clothes.
So you want me to lie?
I want you to think about Emma. I want you to think about our family. If it got torn apart, what would happen to us?
Well, what are you worried about them finding?
The police are well versed with what's happened with Lisa. The affairs, the threats, the murder attempts. It's not going to take a genius to put us at the top of the suspect list.
There's nothing we can do about that.
We can not give him more ammunition, Robin. This has gone on long enough. I just want to move on. You're under enough stress as it is already.
Yeah, but if the police find out that you tampered with evidence, I mean, you could go to jail. That's not good for our family either.
Nobody should have to pay for what happened to Lisa. She's dead. We need to move on.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I mean, they are going to keep investigating until they find out who is responsible.
Well, let him look. Let him look. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Not now, not ever.
The whole department knows that my niece and stepdaughter are suspects in Niles' murder. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on me to recuse myself.
So why don't you?
Would you, if it was one of your daughters?
Do you want the politically correct answer, or do you want the truth?
Alexis, you would stay as close to the investigation as possible. I guess that's what they call karmic retribution.
What have you ever done to deserve any bad karma?
I've had a very misspent youth.
Well, so have we all. Whatever you've done, you've more than redeemed yourself, trust me.
Doesn't give me the right to judge.
Judge who?
When Michael killed Claudia, Sonny and his entire organization did everything they could to cover it up. You know, I was the first one to point fingers, pontificating about how they just made things worse, that Michael would not have even spent time in prison if they had only come forward in the beginning.
You know, that was a miscalculation on a lot of our parts.
Yeah, well, I see now I would have done the same thing. Look, if Robin and Maxie killed Lisa, I wouldn't hesitate to cover it up.
But you're not, right?
I have access to all the case files, all the evidence. I appoint the officers on the case. I can appoint cops on the case who will make mistakes. So the record is cluttered with superfluous detail. So all the facts get lost in the shuffle. You see, there's a million ways to bury a case without suppressing evidence.
Great. I've seen that you clearly thought this through.
Every single night since Lisa disappeared and Robin and Maxie were suspects.
You haven't taken action, have you?
No.
Good.
You believe me, don't you?
Of course I believe you.
Why?
Don't be scared, okay? I am harmless. At least most of the time. Yeah, this place, probably not so much. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's lurking around the corner or creeping through the walls, you know. I guess you would know that better than anyone, right? Yeah, I mean, how long have you been here anyway? Wait, no, I know it was you. I know it was you, in the tunnels. You know, you were watching me, right? Waiting for me to leave so that you could have run of the place. I'm a grifter myself, you know, the life of a grifter. I know it well. You watch people and wait for them to go out of town so you can let yourself into their houses and take a warm shower. You know, raid the fridge, maybe sleep in a real bed at night. I would help myself to some of their things, but I would never slash a family portrait. So what do you have against Laura Spencer anyway?
Family's never been high on your priority list, has it, Luke? So why, all of a sudden, did you come over to see Aiden? Hoping to find absolution? Taking comfort in knowing you didn't kill Lucky's real son?
Jake was my son as much as Aiden.
But Jake wasn't your blood, and neither is Cameron. Pretty much explains why your father's never taken an interest in them. But Aiden's different. He's got your smile and your mother's eyes. God help us when we figure out what he inherited from your dad.
This is not helping, okay?
No, this is good. Let her speak. The last time we talked, you were blaming yourself. You were asking my forgiveness because you didn't keep a closer eye on Jake. It turned my stomach, Elizabeth, to hear that misplaced forgiveness. This is better. This is healthy.
Dad, this is not the time for your twisted philosophical dissertations.
I don't want or deserve your forgiveness, Elizabeth. I will never ask anything of you. I don't expect anything. I don't want anything. But it's very good that you've finally taken the bullseye off your own back and put it here where it belongs. I've never been big on sharing my personal business, ever. Tracy would be happy, I'm sure, to sit down with you and talk about that. She'd like to talk about how I'm the most selfish man in the world because I won't share my personal business. But luckily, we're divorcing, so she's not going to have to be inflicted with my miserable life. And I'm very glad that you and I no longer have to share the responsibility for Jake's death.
Am I supposed to be impressed? That nothing can break through that wall you've built around you? Not guilt, not regret. Certainly not the death of my son.
If that's what you need to believe.
Damn you, Luke, just take responsibility!
I don't know what you expect me to do to demonstrate that I take full responsibility for Jake's death. I do. I've never denied it. I've never tried to escape culpability. But you don't see it that way, and I find no pleasure in arguing with you. I just hope someday, somehow, we'll be able to get past this.
And then what? And then you want me just to welcome you back into Aiden's life? I can promise you, that is never going to happen.
I want you to love me for me. All of me. Not some idealized version you have of me in your head. I'm not perfect.
I'm not asking for perfection. I wouldn't even want that. But the constant danger is a problem for me.
But if you can't accept that that's part of the package, then everything we're trying to build is not going to work out the way it's supposed to.
All I'm asking is that you change assignments.
I can't. Sitting behind a desk, it's never what I've even come close to thinking of myself doing. I grew up with Lieutenant Paletti on the street and back in the old neighborhood talking to kids, helping them, making sure they were playing stickball instead of picking up a gun. Do you think he could do that from sitting behind a desk?
And he was murdered!
Okay, you're right, okay? We have to compromise here, but I guess I'm not willing to give up something that I love, something that I have a real passion for, and maybe you just don't get that right now.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means you've been focusing so much on your family's problems that you haven't paid attention to your own life, your own passions. I don't even know if you know what that would be right now.
Why would you even ask me that? Why would you ask me if I believe?
Let's face it, Alexis, aside from a few painful Thanksgivings and a New Year's Eve in a broken-down car by the side of the road, we barely know each other.
I don't think that's true.
Come on, I could be lying on every conversation we ever had. You know, I could be setting you up to represent Robin and Maxie because I'm the one who killed Lisa.
What is wrong
Why
with
not?
you?
Why not me? I despised Lisa. I could have cheerfully killed her, never thought a thing about it. You know, who's going to suspect the police commissioner?
Get in here, will you please? Have you lost it? You're going to have this conversation in the middle of a police department? It is beyond ill-advised.
It doesn't mean I didn't do it.
You didn't do it. If you did it, you would have said that you did it. You also wouldn't let your girls go through a criminal investigation.
Maybe you're not the best lawyer for me after all.
You just hired me. Now you're going to fire me?
Until now, you know, framing myself to exonerate Robin and Maxie never crossed my mind.
Good, because it's a terrible idea. And I really resent you blaming me for this all of a sudden.
I was just hoping to show you my dark side.
What?
Dark, tortured, dangerous. Let's face it, that's what you find attractive.
Oh, that is so hideously accurate. I really need to get back into therapy. I'm not sure I've been a great example to the girls. One married a mobster, the other is in love with a gambler. I'm telling you, if Molly brings home a teenage perp, I'm putting her in boarding school for the rest of her life.
That's a bit hypocritical, warning your girls against men that you couldn't resist.
I'd like to think of it as a benefit to my experience.
So then there's no chance of you getting back with Sonny?
What? Where is that coming from
Talking
now?
about you're representing him. Isn't that how you started your first romantic relationship?
It was a unique circumstance.
That you were on retainer, that you were living across the hall?
Both. I was single, I was unattached, now I have dependents, and I can't afford a lapse of judgment.
So then what do you tell your daughters to look for in a relationship?
Well, I tell them they don't need to have a relationship if they don't want one, but if they find somebody that's that's nice and ethical and compassionate and a Democrat and handsome and oh my God, it's so hot. I am so hot. Isn't it hot in here?
I'm very comfortable. Go on, you were saying.
No, I was saying that, you know what? Look at the time. You know, Molly needs me. I gotta go. So you'll call me if something comes up.
Can I call you for any other reason?
Yes. I mean, sure. Just, you know, I'm around.
Not feeling very chatty today. That's fine. You know, I've been told I like to hear myself talk. So about Laura. From all accounts, she's a kind, compassionate, loving woman. Not exactly the kind you'd go after with a dagger. Unless, of course, you were Helena Cassadine. Helena told me that she was looking for something here. But it was someone, wasn't it? She was looking for you. I'm not gonna sell you out. I'm just trying to get this cast of characters straight in my head. So I found footprints when I was here. They were big. They were definitely too big to be yours. Do you know who they might belong to? I mean, have you seen anyone here? Could it be one of Helena's henchmen, maybe? Bigfoot. I mean, come on, am I getting warm here? Am I even getting close? Just say something, please. Wait, no. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did I mention how stunningly beautiful you are?
We need to focus. Christmas will be here soon, and we have to make it really special for Emma.
Couldn't agree with you more. We all deserve an amazing Christmas. It'd be great if you could talk to Mac. Maybe get him to lay off the investigation a little bit.
It always goes back to Lisa. I mean, she's taken so much of our time and our energy, and I haven't been able to think about the most important things, you know, and I've let some things fall through the cracks.
Robin, we can't control a crazy woman, right? And you've been going through so much already, let alone running this hospital on a shoestring budget.
Well, it's Monica's problem now. I have to say, I am relieved.
I think we should still fight. Especially after what an amazing chief of staff you've been. We can take it to the board. We can get your job back. I know we can.
I can't say I blame them for replacing me. I mean, the hospital can't afford a liability of having a murder suspect as chief of staff.
Suspect being the operative word. You're innocent until proven guilty. And I think we should fight.
The reality is sometimes you can't fight and win everything.
Think I'm not passionate about anything? I'm passionate about us, about our relationship, our love. I'm passionate about you. I'm sorry that's not enough for you.
No, it's not good enough for you. Look, your passion can't be about me or your dad or your brother. It's got to be yours, something you love. It's okay. You can be selfish right now. It's necessary.
Obviously.
What about Crimson? I mean, you were happy there for a while.
Crimson's a job. It's not me.
Okay, great. You figured that out. Try and find something else, anything else, as long as it's about you and not me or your family or anybody else.
So I'm a bad person for caring about my family and wanting to make sure they're okay. Isn't that exactly what you're doing with your mom right now?
No, I don't think so, actually. I think it's different.
How? I think it's a double standard. You're putting your life on the line to help your mom. And when I put my career on hold to help my family, it means I'm not passionate about anything.
I think you're just focusing on the wrong things here instead of yourself. I'm worried about you.
Well, you can worry about me when I'm bleeding out from a gunshot wound in the hospital.
You act like I did that on purpose or something.
You went back to work on purpose. You left your desk job on purpose.
I never told you I would be satisfied sitting behind a desk.
But you told me that you would do it for me until you were fully recovered.
Because I told you what you wanted to hear, okay? I thought I could do it. I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, you know, everybody told my mom what she wanted to hear for years, and they danced around the bad details because they were afraid she wouldn't be able to handle it.
You're not your mother.
Exactly. So stop treating me like I am.
Why don't I just take you back to your room? You can rest. You know, we can talk.
Sleep's not going to change how I feel about your father or what he took from us. We were supposed to protect him, Lucky. We were supposed to keep him safe. We promised Jason we would give him a good life.
He had a good life.
He was 4. And he was 4 years old. He never even had the chance to live a life. He never got to go to school. He never got to play on his favorite soccer team. He was cheated out of the future. We were cheated because of him. You never even slowed down, did you, Luke? You just kept on going. You just ran over my baby. You never even stopped. I'm not going to calm down. I am not going to calm down, and I'm not going to stand here and listen to your father tell me that this is therapeutic, or that I should move past losing my son. This is your fault, Luke. This is your fault that I lost my
Hey, help! Somebody! Help!
I need a wheelchair.
The fact that you ended up in a heap on my floor tells me otherwise.
Could you get a doctor to check her out just in case?
Yes, I'll page one as soon as I get it back to the room. And as soon as you guys stop with all this hollering and screaming that you've been doing. Now, I don't care who was involved or what it was about. You are still recovering, and you need to take it easy.
Okay, just take me to my room, please.
And how about you? How are you doing?
Okay, your turn. Let's hear it.
I've already said my piece.
No. You blamed my drinking, and you educated me on the 12 steps. Beyond that, you said when I sobered up, we could move forward.
Do we really need to revisit this, Dad? What's your point?
My point? My point is I'm sober. Let's move forward.
Is this your idea of moving forward? Dad, Elizabeth, she almost drowned, okay? Aiden's been sick. Jake is still on her mind all the time. She's on emotional overload. All you did here was just push her past her breaking point.
And you were there to catch her.
Would you have liked it better if I just let her fall?
You keep doing this, Lucky. She's going to rely on you. She's going to depend on you again. She's going to expect you to be there. And because you are the man you are, you will be there. And before you know it, you'll be playing house all over again. Don't make the same mistake I made with your mother. You're too smart for that.
What was the mistake, Dad? Was it falling in love? Or letting it go?
Look, I'm sorry I made you cry. All right, just please come here and talk to me.
I know you think that something's going to take you away from me and Emma, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to let that happen.
I forgot. It's Patrick's world and everyone's just living in it.
That's right. This case is going to be closed. You can get your job back, and everything's going to go back to normal. I promise you that, all right? Nothing's ever going to come between us.
Everything okay in here, doctors? Because I'm really not in the mood to put out any more fires today.
Hey, what happened? You all right?
Yeah, I'm just really tired. Well, then we'll get out of your way so you can rest.
Elizabeth, can I just say one more time how sorry I am for everything that Lisa put you through? I feel responsible that she came to this hospital because of me.
Nothing that she did is your fault, Patrick.
Well, she's gone for good, and she's not going to hurt anybody anymore. Hopefully we can all get back to normal, and I know you'll appreciate that.
I'm not a delicate little flower. I don't need to be coddled or kept in the dark about what's really going on.
Oh. All right, well then, don't force feed me whatever you think I want to hear.
When have I done that?
Oh, come on, Lily, you've been sitting on the fence about our engagement ever since I asked you. It's like, it feels like you only said yes because I got shot and you didn't want to upset me or cause me to have some kind of a setback. If anyone's been coddling anyone, it's you.
I said yes because I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. But if you don't make changes, your life is going to be cut short.
I don't go out looking to get shot, okay? Yes, it is a hazard of my job, but it rarely ever happens.
Obviously not for you.
Right, because I've been shot twice, okay? And that's bad luck or whatever you want to call it, but most cops I know, they hardly ever have to take their gun out of the holster.
Well, that's so lucky for their wives and husbands.
You know what? This argument, it's like this crazy circle. I just want to break out of it, okay? I want to go to work and do my job to the best of my ability, and I want to come home to you, and I want to hear about your day, and I want to have a normal life.
You didn't come home. I was waiting, and you didn't come home. I can't go through that again.
Come in. Hey. How you feeling?
Embarrassed that I caused a scene.
I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. Dad was the one who brought Aiden in.
Why would you take a chance like that?
He was the last person I expected to pick up the phone when I called home from Ireland, and I was so worried about Aiden. I didn't think I had a choice.
Okay. All right. I know Aiden is going to be fine because your dad was able to get him here. I just wish it wasn't him.
I understand.
So when you were in Ireland, what happened? How did you know Aiden was in trouble?
It's a long story. I went to Ireland because of Siobhan. She left this letter explaining that if I went to a certain churchyard, I would receive some kind of message.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. But it wasn't from her. It was from Jake.
From Jake?
Yeah. And look, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it's what happened. I don't know how to explain it, but I went to the churchyard and I fell asleep, okay? When I woke up, there were these pebbles laying on the ground beside me, but they had been arranged into words, and it spelled out, "Go home, Daddy." I know. I mean, I thought that I was just losing my mind, but it happened again, and each time the message got more specific. And then it said, "Go home, Daddy. Aiden, sick." And at that point, I'm telling you, I mean, I wasn't going to take any chances, so I called home. Dad picked up the phone.
Jake knew that Aiden needed you. He knew that I needed you too.
Elizabeth didn't collapse because of you.
Elizabeth is a patient because of what Lisa did, and Lisa was here because of me.
Elizabeth lost Jake. She thought she was going to lose Aiden. That's why she collapsed, not because of Lisa or anything
Well,
that
maybe
you
not
did.
directly, but I still feel guilty for putting everything into motion. And I feel like it's on me to try and make things right.
Lisa is dead. It's over. You said it yourself. Just let it be over, okay? And no more tampering with evidence to derail the investigation. Promise me.
Dr. Drake, Dr. Marucci just called from World War II. He needs you ASAP.
Okay.
Radiology 2705. Radiology phone 705.
You can't live your life by worrying about what might happen next. You never get off the couch. I mean, you wouldn't get in a car. You wouldn't get on a plane. None of us know how long we have on this earth.
I realize that, but there are safer ways to live, which is why there are seatbelts in cars and planes, and there are crosswalks in the streets.
That's why I carry a gun when I go into a dangerous situation.
Don, Dante, that's the thing about your job. You don't know when it's gonna be dangerous.
You're right. You're right. That stuff is out of my control, so you have to decide if it's something that you can live with.
You're acting like I'm being unreasonable for wanting you to be safe.
All I want to do is make the best of the moments that we do have. Okay, by living together and laughing with each other and loving and living every moment to the fullest. That's all I want to do.
So this is gonna be your way.
I'm not going to argue with you anymore, Lulu. I love you and I want to be with you more than anything. But I can't change. So that means it's up to you to decide.
I don't want to lose you.
If you change me, you kind of already are. Guess there's no need for any more ultimatums. It's Dante. Look, I just wanted to thank you for putting me back in the Lisa Niles murder. My health is good. I'm ready to get back to work. So thanks.
Careful chasing ghosts, Dodge. Sometimes they chase back. I'm taking off to chase a few of my own.
A second chance, you know, to get things right with Aiden.
We've been over this. It's one of the reasons why I left town.
No, you left because you blamed yourself for Siobhan's death. You needed to get away, to deal with all of that guilt.
No, I could see where this was headed between us, and it's a road that I can't go down again.
No, like, it's not just me. Cameron and Aiden want us to be a family too. And so does Jake. That's why he sent you home.
You don't understand.
No, like, you don't understand.
Listen to me. I don't have the strength to have you and then lose you again.
But we created a beautiful child together. A child who's alive and well because of you. We can finally give Aiden the life and the family that Jake never had.